Hello. When your spouse, yes, your spouse, when your spouse starts making peace with your absence and neglect, not just your absence, but your neglect too, understand that your presence is meaningless to them at that point. TheLadyKeziah is my name. I address the difficult yet necessary conversations we know we are supposed to have with our own selves and the people we love, the people around us. When indifference replaces conflict, don't see it as a winning game. That is the silent exit. Yes. In the geography of a relationship, the most dangerous territory is not a heated argument. Yes. It is the quiet, settled land of indifference. When your spouse begins to make peace with your absence and neglect, he or she is not just getting used to it. They are not getting used to your neglect and your absence. They are undergoing a psychological shift that fundamentally redefines the union. She used to be so jealous about your relationship with other women. All of a sudden, she's quiet watching. And I think if you won't know, that is the silent exit. Yeah. She's undergoing a psychological shift that fundamentally redefines the union. And I've told you that when it comes to relationship, marriage issue, it's not a gender thing. Yeah. So this applies to your man too. Many of the things he used to complain, will beg you, will advise you, tell you, will do it this way, change it this way, watch your tone, watch your words. Now he's quiet. And you think you've won. No, you haven't. He's undergoing a psychological shift that fundamentally will redefine the union. Yeah. They are learning to navigate their own life without you as a partner. Yeah. Let's consider the following so you get a deeper understanding into this. So if it has already happened, then you know what to do right now. Number one, the married single phenomenon. My new book that will bless your soul, The Married Single. So number one for this video is the married single phenomenon. When neglect becomes a constant, many individuals fall into the state of the married single, what I've just explained. They fall into the state of the married single phenomenon. This is a survival mechanism where your spouse remains legally and residentially tied to you, but operates with a total emotional and practical autonomy. Within the same thing, number one, the married single phenomenon, let's look at these three. The shift of agency, the loss of solvency, and the emotional audits. The neglected spouse, if you are the one neglecting your spouse, or you are the one that has been neglected, the neglected spouse stops asking for permission or participation, reclaiming their own personal agency and empowerment outside the marriage. So many of the things that they would have cried, they would have become so sorrowful, I will be begging and pleading to treat them well. You realize all of a sudden they don't mind you anymore. And I think if you want to know, they are reclaiming their personal agency, their personal agency and empowerment outside the marriage. If the marriage was thriving and the two of you are together building it, when one of you gains their agency, it is still within the marriage, and it makes the other person enjoy, because more or less they become more, so they'll pour more into you. But this one, they are reacting to your neglect and absence, and this agency is minus you. This empowerment outside the marriage is not to your advantage. So if there's something you must do it now. The loss of solvency. A healthy relationship requires emotional solvency, a consistent deposit of time, care, and attention. If that is not coming, the solvency is lost. They are just building themselves without you. They have entered the married single phenomenon. And once you make them enjoy it, your presence becomes meaningless to them from that very moment. And then the emotional audit. Once the account is depleted by consistent neglect, the spouse, your spouse, or you yourself begins to perform an internal audit and realizes the relationship is no longer solvent. It doesn't give them any satisfaction, not even emotionally. So then they realize they are all there by themselves. Do you know what that means? Number 2, why silence is louder than screaming. Why silence is louder than screaming. Conflict is a sign of life. So it seems like he's nagging, she's nagging. No, allow them to talk. The very moment they keep quiet on you, they are taking back the life, the breath of the relationship. Yes, conflict is a sign of life. It means there's still enough value in the relationship to fight for. However, when your spouse stops complaining about your absence, about your neglect, about you treating them wrong, illy, poorly, it is because they have stopped expecting your presence. It is because they have stopped expecting anything good from you. That is dangerous. So still within this number 2, I've told you this year, we are more or less in the classroom. So many of the things I teach deeply and deeper in my coaching session, I give you the surface. And if this is the surface, imagine the coaching classes stuff. So here, you can go around all the entertainment places to go and laugh. But when it comes here, when you come here, when it comes to my page, my channel, understand that you are here to learn something. Okay? So within this, why silence is louder than screaming, let's also look at these 3. Okay? For number 2, mourning in advance. That's number 1. Within the number 2, a peaceful void. And number 3, meaningless presence. Okay? Did you understand? Okay. So number 2, why silence is louder than screaming. I still have these 3. Number 1 within the number 2 is mourning in advance. They have already done the heavy lifting of grieving the relationship while still standing in the same room as you. They've given up on you. Do as you please, whilst they too as they please too. Is that also a relationship? Number 2, within the major number 2, why silence is louder than screaming. Okay, number 2 is the peaceful void. They have learned the act of solitude, how to be alone without feeling lonely, which makes your presence an unnecessary distraction rather than a comfort. Number 3, within the number 2, is meaningless presence. If your absence has been made peaceful, if your absence has been made peaceful, your presence becomes a meaningless intrusion on the new life they have built to survive without you. If you make them get used to your absence, your neglect, your abandonment, all that, there is no way you are treating somebody wrongly and you don't know. If they stop complaining and they think they've gotten used to it, no, they haven't. All that means is if your absence has been made peaceful, your presence becomes a meaningless intrusion on the new life they have built to survive without you. Number 3, within the number 2, why silence is louder than screaming, is the point of no return. My book, The Married Singer, will bless you so much. At this stage, your presence is meaningless because the revelation of your character has already been processed. They have seen the truth of the neglect, decided it no longer deserves their stress, and they have chosen to march on internally. Even if the external divorce papers haven't been signed, they have given up on you emotionally and spiritually. You are only legally tied to them, but emotionally and spiritually they have given up. Don't see it as normal. Do something and do it now. To upgrade a life from this point, to upgrade your relationship from this point, requires more than a simple apology. You know all the things you are doing against them, and you're pretending like everything is normal. Really? Okay. To upgrade this union from this point requires more than just a simple apology. It requires a total restoration of the solvency that was lost during these years, during this period of the neglect. However, once your spouse has found peace in your absence, he or she often they realize they are better stewards of their own peace when they are truly alone. My final thought on this is that, you see, indifference is the ultimate boundary. Once your spouse makes peace with being neglected, he or she has effectively decolonized his or her heart from your influence. You see the way I'm struggling to even say the words? Because they are so deep. And you know these. You understand them. Why are you still seeing it as normal? Once a spouse makes peace with being neglected, once your spouse makes peace with being neglected, they have effectively decolonized their heart from your influence. They are no longer a project to be managed, but a person who has regained their agency and looking toward the future where they are fully seen. You are not in the picture. TheLadyKeziah is my name. I'm a licensed psychosocial counselor and a transformative mindset coach. If you want to talk to me, if you want to work with me, see my channel or my profile and book a session with me. My link is there. We can become more, do more, and give more. If anything resonates with you, in the comment section, let me hear from you. Much love and blessings.